What up, YouTube? We're going to get right into it today. There's a lot going on in Texas. Apparently, a lot of people were infected with the HIV and other STIs. Thankfully, those are curable, but the HIV isn't. You're going to see a couple videos of people discussing this topic, and then we're going to talk about a couple other things. But as we go, I'm going to give my commentary. Let's hear what these people got to say.
As someone that works in the lab that has to run these tests on a regular, these are factual. These are factual. And the crazy part is this is the crazy part. It's not the men's. It's not the men's. That's the crazy part for me. It's not the men's. 9 times out of 10 when I get a positive chlamydia, it's the women. Right? The syphilis HIV, that's going crazy right now. Nuts, ape. That's why get a good girl, settle down.
Okay. You notice how he said it's not the men's, but then he says something like, men, you need to find a good girl and settle down. Here's the problem. Men don't get tested. The reason why there's a disproportionate amount of women with these results is because they go get tested. Women feel the symptoms quickly. Men don't. Most men are scared of finding out the truth of their health, so they avoid it. And most men are avoidants. And so they will avoid going to the doctor. Okay? This is why there's so many more women getting their results and men aren't. Where are these women getting these STDs from? Right? Where are these women getting these STDs from? It's from the guys. But a lot of guys, if you go on TikTok, there's so many stories, and even on YouTube, of down low men or women telling stories of how they're finding out their partner is down low, and they're finding out when they're getting their test results. And the man, he doesn't even know his own status, but he's messing around with a bunch of people, and he finds out his results. He bases his status on his woman getting tested, or whoever he's messing with getting tested. That's the only way.
And marry her. Find a good man who is going to give you what you like. Marry her. Because this is what the street looks like. This is what the streets.
It's not just the streets. It's married couples. It's married women waking up one day, seeing a rash, and going to the doctor and being like, what? They're finding out after breakfast. Okay? They're finding out after their anniversary. They're finding out after Valentine's Day, celebrating their 16th Valentine's Day with their man. So let's stop with the shenanigans, okay? Because I know for a fact these guys aren't going to the doctor. I've asked men, when was the last time you've gotten your results? They've told me, oh, I haven't gotten tested. I'm clean. Okay. I'm not making this up. But I feel like men have a problem with being called out because they think that they're so perfect, and that because of their member not being able to show, like, they don't really have symptoms, they're very asymptomatic, that means that they are not capable of catching it or transmitting it. They think it's null and void. I'm a man, so I don't have to worry about this. I'm not sick. Okay, whatever. I don't even want to hear this guy anymore, so I'm done. Let's hear what this lady has to say.
So recently, Houston, Texas have had a recent STD outbreak, but not only that, over 42,000 people are said to have the HIV STD new infection just in the month of June. Child, what? Now, we all know that this is a season of judgment. We are seeing plagues and we are seeing so many things that has come to the forefront. Yes, as HIV has always been here on surface, but as we begin to look into the world and even the culture, I did a video and I talked about Sexy Red and how she is a industry plant.
Okay, she talked about Sexy Red being an industry plant and how people like Sexy Red are influencing this type of behavior. Did we forget about Little Kim? Did we forget about Foxy Brown? Did we forget about the song Creep? Did we forget that it's more than just that? There was people like Eazy-E, Snoop Dogg, all these other rappers back in the 90s rapping about slanging that thing everywhere. And when girls came in the game, they were rapping about the same thing. If I recall, Lil' Kim talked about getting 6 Ds in one night or at the same time or something like that. So this whole thing isn't new. Now, do I agree that music and TV influences the masses? Yes, I do agree on that. But do I think it's all on Sexy Red and Ice Spice and all these other people? No, I don't think. I think the music and the movies have been influencing for decades. Let's not start blaming the Sexy Reds of the world. Do they have some part of it? Yeah, sure, they have some part of it. But is it on them? No. Because we've been promoting this type of music for a long time. Okay? Let's not act like we're not in the club shaking it to back that thing up or slow motion for me. Okay? Let's stop.
When the industry and the people in upper echelons, these Hollywood, these big wig people who are in control of moving culture along, they are very intentional even about that.
Yeah, but also society moves the culture along, because there are things that we don't let slide to this day, right? That we will shame, we will cancel people for, right? So the fact that we haven't canceled this kind of music is because at the core, a lot of people find this entertaining and relatable. So we also have to put some blame on society, the people in society who keep pushing this type of music along, saying, well, I just love the beat. Well, it's catchy. Okay? It's not all on the artists and it's not all on the bigwigs. It's also on society. We have the choice and the power to shut that down. We could turn off the radio. We could stop downloading and streaming these songs, but we don't. Come on, stop it.
When I talked about Sexy Red being a plant, not just for the election, but sexually, I mean, it has literally, I knew something was wrong when Carisha sat up on that podcast and said, I like the BP. Girl, what? In itself is a spirit of perversion. And that is what we're seeing in the land today. Most of your popular artists that are really popularity-ing, that's not a word, but I just made it up, who's into this popular arena that everybody like and love their songs, it's a spirit of perversion. They're moving the spirit of perversion, lust. That's all we see as it relates to Sexy Red, the City Girls. These songs, I'll be baffled like, wait a minute, what you just say? More and more sin.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I think that for a long time, long time, people have been practicing all types of sexual things, okay? They have all type of kinks. I remember a friend of mine saying, don't yuck their yum. Yeah, there's a limit though. And listen, I don't judge you. If you want to do whatever you want to do in your bedroom, that's fine. Selling it to the masses, to impressionable young people, then that's where I'm like, okay. Like, what happened to the lock feature on TV and on the internet? Because kids are getting a hold of these kinds of things. And they think, oh, I could just do this. And then they end up with hepatitis. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that, you know, Carisha and Sexy Red and all these other people saying these things are very influential to a lot of people. But this isn't something new. A lot of people have been engaging in all type of interesting behavior in the bedroom for a long time. It's nothing new. Let's see this. I posted this actually.
It's amazing, and I used to be one of those guys going to the Cleveland Clinic survey. 72% of men would rather do household chores, like clean the bathroom and mow the lawn and things like that, than go to the doctor. And I gotta admit, I used to be one of those guys early in my age because I felt like, you know what, I can tough it out. I don't need to go to the doctor. But with time, I realized that prevention is so much better than a cure.
Even the host admitting it. He's admitting it, that he did not go to the doctor at all. It took him having a wife to make him go to the damn doctor.
What is your message when you hear other guys who had the same mindset that I had before?
You just have to talk to men about the reality. So yes, as you mentioned, that Cleveland Clinic study, 72% of men would rather do almost anything than go to the doctor. And in that survey, only about half the men actually would see the doctor regularly. And it's really quite a tragedy because men are more likely to die younger than women. They're more likely to have more chronic diseases, more likely to have aortic aneurysms, gout, kidney stones. They get illnesses earlier, and they just oftentimes don't want to go to the doctor. And so
the fact is, men think they're healthier than they are, and their female significant others recognize that that's not all.
Do you hear that? The fact is, men think that they're healthier than they are. I've been in relationships where the guy has a fever, feels like crap, his head hurt. He'd rather not go to the doctor. He's like, oh, let me just take some Mucinex. And I'm like, bro, you could be having dengue fever for all I know. You need to go to the doctor. They just won't go. I have to force my partner to go to the doctor. Like, I shouldn't be having to do that. I shouldn't have to mommy you into taking care of yourself.
Was the case.
Urologist Dr. Ryan Berglund says men should go to the doctor if they have symptoms that won't let up. He says men should also be getting regular health screenings.
1 in 3 men don't brush twice a day. Over half of us do visit a dentist every 6 months. But when it comes to getting medical treatment, men in particular tend to avoid the doctor's waiting room.
Yeah, you can play the numbers game if you want. That's rolling dice with your life. I see a lot of women doing a lot of reckless things. Where do you think those missing women come from? Dating apps. Go look at the statistics. Y'all playing games with this whole, he knows my value, he'll move mountains, he'll do this and that. Let me help you out. Let Uncle Joe help you out and bring you a little secret real quick. Let me tell you the mind of a criminal, right? See, criminals stake out places to notice your movements and notice how you move, notice your inflections and notice your body language, notice what you do, how you dress, what you talk like, and whatever. They find whatever holes they can, weakness. So you think they're the only ones listening to that content that you absorb? You think that content is only just seen by women only? So if I was a criminal, if I had ill intent, wouldn't I caught you properly? Oh, Joe, you talking crazy. You just want everybody to be alone. Let me tell you what happened to my homegirl, right? My homegirl was loving this dude. He was taking her out. He was calling her in the morning on the way to work, calling her in the evening on the way home. Then he was taking her, sending her flowers and everything. And I told her, I said, yo, that dude, something ain't right. Ain't nobody just doing that. She said, oh, you just jealous because he got more money than you. I said, okay, you can say what you want, but that's not right. So when we broke our friendship off, right? I said, this ain't cool. So then she said, hey, you know what? He's taking me to St. Lucius. Ain't no man ever take me to St. Lucius. He knows my value. He knows my worth. He's a real man. Okay, cool. Guess what happened? He goes to St. Lucius. They go do their thing. He comes back about a month later and says, you know what? I don't think this is for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I showed you a good time, but this ain't for me. Changed this number, blocked her, did whatever. A couple of months later after that, she got really sick. She didn't know what was going on. She went to the emergency room. Because she said she had this flu been going on for a couple of months, been getting lightheaded and dizzy and a lot of other symptoms, right? You see where I'm going, ladies? He knows my value and my worth. You see where I'm going? So she sat in there for about a week. They didn't understand what was going on. So the doctor said, I think we need to do a certain test. I think you know what test it is. And she said, what are you talking about? He said, when the last time you've been sexually active? And she told him. He said, well, we're going to do a test. Is it okay if we do this test? She said, sure, why not? That test came back positive.
Okay. Did you not hear the previous video? The previous snippet that guys don't be brushing their teeth? Most guys won't brush their teeth once a day. And we're letting dudes touch us? Like,
3 years ago, I started requesting a full extensive STI panel from any person that I was going to sleep with, and obviously I, in return, would have to give a clean STI panel back to this person. Now, with every single man that I've ever slept with, once they get their STI panel back, you want to know the one thing that they tell me that makes me keep asking people for STI panels? Every single person, does not matter if they have 5 friends, 1,000 friends, if they're a jock, if they're a nerd, if they're an athlete, it doesn't matter. They all say the same thing. They all look me in the eyes and they go, thank God, I really thought I might have had something.
if that's not scary, I don't know what else is. Ladies, please make sure these guys are getting tested. Make sure you're using protection, or don't hook up at all, because a lot of these dudes do not go to the doctor. They do not. They would rather do laundry, clean the house, walk the dogs, work in construction for free than get tested, okay? They would rather download a fake HIV result, a negative result, just so they could lay up with you. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. So please be careful. And I've experienced that before when I've asked guys to get tested, and they get tested and then they say, oh man, whew, I'm so glad I'm okay. And I'm like, what? You're so glad you're okay? You're reckless. You're reckless. You're just playing Russian roulette with your life. At this point, because there's so many men, especially, living secret lives, I would suggest that you get these guys tested immediately. In 30 days. If you know for a fact that you gonna want to hook up with him, you might have to say, hey, look, I know for sure I'm trying to get in them draws. So you're gonna have to go get tested. Or if not, it's not gonna happen. Period. That's it. That's what you're gonna have to do. Okay? Because at this point, what are we waiting for? Are we waiting to get the bad results? Is that what we're doing? Are we just depending on love and feelings to save us? Are we just waiting for symptoms to tell us? Absolutely not. We're not doing that. We're not playing Russian roulette with our lives. We're not risking that. Yeah, that's all I had for this video. Again, a lot of men aren't getting tested. The reason why there is a disproportionate amount of women coming out with STDs and men don't have any is because men aren't getting tested. They're not. They're relying on women's test results, or the partner who's getting the most symptoms, who is on their deathbed, to know if they're infected. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Prioritize your health. All right? I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.